Hello and welcome back to Plastic Models by a Regular Dude. Today, or this evening as the case may be, I'm going to do a quick review and a quick tutorial on how I assemble the Kaizen brand Panzer 3/4 mid-version tracks. Now, if you're not familiar with these tracks, they are a plastic material and they're styrene, very finely molded, very nice. I've used Kaizen tracks before and they work really well. They assemble easily. In general, they're easy to clean up, and you get really nice workable tracks at an affordable price. A lot of people, especially on German vehicles, like to use the Friul or whatever name it is brand metal tracks. It's kind of the same idea. You get a metal pin that holds the links together. It's made out of metal, so it gives you some nice sag. You can still do that with these plastic tracks, and I think probably about half the price, if not half, really close. Really nice tracks. So what you get is this. Nice box art, shows you the separate pieces, which includes track links, pins, and these I think they're ice cleats called Mittelstollen. Okay, that's what's included in the box. On the side of the box, it will give you the quantity of everything that comes in the box. 220 track links, 110 pieces Mittelstollen, because it looks like you alternate tracks, you don't put one on every track link. 28 pieces of metal pins, easy to build, workable, and firmly connected. Mittelstollen are provided as an option. Install according to your own research and reference. Apply extra thin cement sparingly and carefully. So that's basically your instructions. So inside comes a bag full of these. This is a sprue of the track links. You have right side and left side, and then you have the Mittelstollen. So this, if you were putting these optional parts on, one would go on here, one would go on here, and then the next set, same thing. So a real quick look at the detail of the tracks. Hopefully you can see there, they're very nice. Okay, and so you line these things up correctly. The ice cleats, if that's truly what they are, have these three raised portions right in the middle that fit these three indentations that naturally occur in a Panzer 3 or 4 track. So it's kind of hard to mess them up. You get them lined properly and you're good to go. And as it said, to me, extra thin or any thin cement, use it sparingly. So you get a whole ton of these. You get a bunch of them, and they are right and left. So what I have done, you also get, the pins right here. Okay, so you get a bag of those, and there are, as it says on the box, 28 of these pins. Soft brass, so they're easy to cut. So I have already started cutting these off, and I'm putting them right and left in these little containers. So just to show you how I do it. Now this is, let me add real quick, this is a case where really nice flush cutters such as the Tamiya or Gundam Planet, something like that, something that cuts like this and not like this, is beneficial, because you can get right up against the track and cut it. If you get right up close like that, now I'm cutting the right side first, there are no cleanup points. or if they are, they're super, super faint. So as you can see here, probably, nice clean cut. And it's in between, so you're not really going to notice it, even if there is a little bit of a burr. Now, it wouldn't be hard once you get them cut off, if you don't have that type of cutter, to just give it a quick buzz like that. But if you have something like this, it's going to save you a lot of time from having to sand each and every one of those points where you've cut the track. Again, it's just really easy. It's a little bit time consuming, but it's not too bad. The plastic is somewhat soft. It's kind of a softer styrene. I don't think you'd be hard pressed to actually break one of these tracks because they are kind of soft. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all these off, and then I will show you what it takes to assemble them. Okay, once you get all of the links cut off, then you take one of the wires like this. And this is where it's important to keep left and right separate, because the right hand side tracks, well, they both only have holes on one side, and that's so whenever you get them together, let me show you. Just take the wire, and where the hole is in the end of the track there, takes a good eye, it's like threading a needle. Just spear it through. Okay, and you'll be able to see, you may not be able to see it on here, but in between the links you'll be able to see the brass, because you know it's pretty bright. You'll be able to see it to know that you've bottomed out in this other track, because it passes through all of them into the far side here. Once you get it installed and you know that it's all the way through, I have an older pair of cutters that'll work just fine, and you just get as close to track as possible and cut it. And you might want to have something handy to not launch it like that, but there you go. So you have brass showing on this side. On this side is a molded pin, track pin head. So that's what will be facing out, so you don't have to worry about, you know, rough edges of the pins that you cut off showing. Okay, so it's not all that difficult. Will be a little time consuming, but whoops. It will be worth it in the end, as I will show you. So you take your pin, it's all the way through. Now I wouldn't be facing it like this, I'm just doing it this way because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Just like that, and you're good to go. And there's your first few links. So I'm going to go ahead and get one run done and show you how it turns out. So one thing you want to keep in mind is what length your tracks are supposed to be. Now, I think the kit calls for 92, the kit that I'm working on that I'm going to put these tracks on calls for 92 links per side. So I'm going to get it up to about 90 and then put it around the running gear and see how it fits, because these might, dimensionally, they might be just slightly smaller or larger, so that will kind of determine how many links you actually need to use. Plus you might want to add one or two if you want to have more sag in the track, or less. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and assemble some more of these and get a whole run completed, and then I will show you what it looks like. So I thought I would show you some more assembly. I came up with a technique that kind of speeds it along a bit, and it works really well. So let me show you what I do. As you can see, I've already got some together here, but I take the link, put it together like that. Do it like that, and then I cut it like that so I don't launch it anywhere. Now it goes a lot smoother when I'm not having to work around the camera here. Like that. Next one. And you want to be careful with these because you can stick them underneath your skin. I have done it. Okay, and you may end up with a little short piece like that. Just toss it aside. Grab another. Voila. So just continue on. It goes fairly quickly. I'm keeping track on a stopwatch, see how long it takes me to actually assemble a full run. And so far it's not too bad, but I'll tell you later. One other thing that I do, it doesn't say anything about in the instructions, but I use a little bit of the gel super glue. Put a little dab on here. This is using a toothpick / cocktail stick. I just dab a little bit and just put just a little dab right there by the pin, just to make sure none of them fall out, and that will be on the inside, so you're not going to see it anyway. So I'll continue working on this, assembling them, and come back. And here you have it. After 48 minutes total time to assemble these links, including cutting off all the pins and applying the little dabs of gel CA glue, I have 90 links put together. And I did 90 because I want to be able to fit it around the running gear of the vehicle to see how many more I need to add. But I figured I'd do 90 to start with because the kit tracks are 92 per side, but they're just slightly smaller than these. So I figured 90 would be a good place to start from. But as you can see, they are very, very flexible. No kinks, no weird stuff going on. So whenever you get it on the vehicle, let me try it out here for you. Depending on how many links you have on there, you're going to get some really nice even sag. Looks really good. So I have to say, I really like the Kaizen tracks. I liked them before, still like them. They're just awesome. The thing I like is that they fit so well together. They're easy to do. They're plastic and not metal. You know, and I know a lot of people like the metal just because it gives it that extra bit of weight and that real, realistic sag and all that kind of stuff. But I really think you can get as good a sag with these as you can with the metal Friul or whatever they are tracks. And the nice thing is because they go together so easily, you can fit them around the running gear of the vehicle, and then all you have to do is just slide the pin in and you're good to go. Another thing I like about, if I'm not mistaken, now I've never used the metal tracks, but they come with a coil of wire to use for the track pins. The thing I really like about this is you have nice straight pieces of brass for the pins. And I like the fact that because they are brass, they're easy to see. If you were to drop one, you'd readily be able to see a non-shiny brass part on the edge of the track there. And also, whenever you're putting them through, you can see if your lighting's decent enough, you can see if the track has made it all the way through. So anyway, I'm going to let the gel set up a little bit, make sure it's not tacky or anything, and then I'll move on to test fitting them onto the vehicle itself and see if I need to add any links.